Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I'll be talking about the ritual playlist and showing some gameplay of what the typical activities in the playlist look like. Beginning with the Vanguard Ops playlist, this is where the core of the replayable co-op missions are located. Vanguard Ops, aka Strikes, are easy random missions pulled from past campaigns and seasons and give you a glimpse into what things were like for the Vanguard in past times. Nightfalls are a more challenging variation of Strikes and come with more difficult enemies with more health that deal more damage. There are also additional challenge modifiers and mini-bosses known as champions that must be defeated for optimal rewards. Nightfalls have their own loot pool that's separate from Strikes. Grandmaster Nightfalls are the most challenging and drop adept versions of Nightfall weapons. Finally, there's Onslaught, which is a mode where you defend a piece of equipment called the ADU from up to 50 waves of progressively more difficult enemies, with a boss fight happening every 10 waves. This activity has its own loot pool, and the weapons can be attuned for a 60% drop chance at Commander Zavala. The Pathfinder is a system similar to bounties with the gunsmith or other vendors, and they provide experience for each node completed. And if you link enough nodes to reach the final reward, you receive XP, pinnacle gear, bright dust, and prisms. Vanguard, Gambit, and Crucible each have their own Pathfinders, but progress in one area overlaps with the others. I'm going to show you an example of a strike. For this strike, I'm going to run a young Ahamkara's spine build, focusing mainly on trip mine grenades and throwing knives with some supplemental crowd control with Sunshot and Cry Mutiny as my heavy. I'm going to speed up the gameplay here because strikes are basically linear and you just slay out in different rooms for most of them.
Isn't an option for her anymore. Not with the brood doubting her. Expect the worst, Guardian. Navota has no choice but to defeat you.
Eventually, in this strike, you chase down the boss and have a brief fight, where you damage her and kill her minions until she eventually retreats, and you pursue her to the final room where she is holding her ritual. You alternate between DPS phases and ad clearing phases until you defeat the boss. And you're rewarded with a chest of loot for your troubles.
Hard logic, but also its flaws. You've proven that the path to victory comes only from the light.
We're happy to send the message, Commander.
Excellent work.
It's not too shabby. Don't forget to commend your teammates at the end. Let's check with Zavala to collect reputation rewards and see what's in the loot pool.
Requisition approved.
Down below is where you can select your Onslaught attunement and get a 60% drop chance for whichever weapon you attune. Your attunement stays until you remove it or change it to attune a different weapon. Let's take a look at Gambit. Gambit is an interesting game mode because it contains everything that Destiny is about. You need to be able to add clear, do boss damage, and kill other guardians in order to excel at Gambit. The round begins with Drifter revealing the enemy type.
Ding! I got Loose and Hive coming for you. Let's be bad guys. I still want to.
And then you get to see the enemy team before you're dropped into the game.
Might be nice. You ready for transmat? Give me those moats, and I'll make you rich, sister. I promise.
Each game is a race to summon and defeat the boss. See that? That is a moat. You collect them by running over them, and then you deposit them into the bank. See that? That's the bank. You interact with it to dunk your moats. Once you bank 100 moats, you summon the boss. Up here, these symbols show that there is a small, medium, and large blocker on the enemy bank. These are enemies that the opposing team must defeat before they can bank their moats. And if left too long, it will drain the moats from the opposing bank. The left side of my HUD shows that I have maximum of 15 moats, and when I bank them, I will summon a large blocker to harass the opposing team.
You just sicked a large blocker on fellow guardians. I can hear them scream. Portal's ready. Your allies invading the other side.
I got too aggressive, panic popped my super, and then died. Luckily, I didn't have any moats to lose, and my teammates were able to summon the boss right after this.
Bang! Summon that primeval. Your invader's back with 3 kills. Yes. Primeval's up. Burn the envoy first.
To drop the boss's immune shield, we need to kill the envoys. Our vision is tinted red because there's an invader coming to kill us. I managed to spot the energy trail that the invaders have. They appear red and black when you see them. Alright, the envoys are dead and it's time to hit the boss.
Hit it with everything you've got.
Gotta kill more envoys, and then I take cover because I have no idea where the invader is.
Taking a dirt nap. Prime evening time. Enemy invader down. Free to hunt.
Another invader, and my teammate freaks me out because he's right in my face, and then I get arrowed. Fatally.
Enemy invader down. Free to hunt. Envoy's dead. Kill the prime eagle.
Time to finish the boss, and pop my super just in time for someone else to kill it. Sad. But we won, so hey. Checking my Pathfinder progress before going to see Drifter.
That's all. Gambit's always looking for guardians. You in?
Not a lot for me to get, so I just decrypt the engrams for his random loot. Before showing you around the Crucible for some PvP, I'm going to take a moment and change my mods for something more beneficial for PvP. Don't forget to put a holster mod on your legs that matches your secondary weapon. That way, it will always be loaded when you pull it out.
I don't want you to record this transaction.
Alright, we are playing Control. Control is a 6v6 game mode where the goal is to stand on 3 zones and capture them. Once they've been captured, you need to get as many kills as you can.
The zones are yours if you fight for them, Guardian.
We get a point for each teammate standing on a zone when it gets captured, and the number of points each kill gains the team is multiplied by the number of zones you control. So, 2 zones means 2 points per kill, 3 zones means 3 points per kill, etc.
Zone B captured. Zone advantage is yours. You captured Zone A. That's a power play. You took them. Now hold them. What can stop you if you fight together? Zone C lost.
See, I was way too weak to peek that again.
Zone B lost. Zone C captured. You have zone advantage.
Here's where using knife trick instead of lightweight or proximity knives was a mistake. I was super weak anyway, so I was dead either way.
Zone B captured. Power play. Keep the pressure on. Zone A lost. That's a power play. You took them, now hold them. Zone C lost.
Unfortunate time to reload.
That's a power play. You took them, now hold them.
About here is when I decided that maybe I should play closer to teammates instead of going Rambo.
Zone A lost. Zone advantage is yours. Zone C lost.
Shotgun whiff, melee whiff, bad connection. It happens. I think this guy is lagging pretty bad. 3 peek with the tangle, see this guy coming and hit him with the tangle, and then a melee.
By a team that fights together, stays together. Zone B lost.
Knife trick biting me in the ass again. That grenade shot left me so weak.
Zone A lost. Your enemy has a power play. You captured Zone C. 5 minutes remain. A strong start. Fight on.
Far from cover, without my teammates, didn't know who to target, and missing my shots.
Haven't lost. Zone C lost. That shut them down.
Got so tunnel vision trying to kill this guy that I didn't notice his teammates on the zone.
Your
Love to see it.
Zone C captured. You have advantage.
Once again, maybe I should stick with teammates.
Zone B lost. You have advantage. 3 minutes. Hold strong, and this battle is yours. Zone C lost.
Tunnel vision. Just chasing this guy right into his grenade.
Zone B captured. You have advantage. Zone B lost. You captured Zone C. You have advantage. Keep it up, and victory is yours. You captured Zone B. That's a power play. You took them, now hold them. Zone A lost. A well-fought victory. Impressive. You could give the Red Jacks a lesson in territory control.
18 kills. Better than I expected, to be honest. And there you have it. Some examples of what these ritual playlist activities look like and how they're played. Thanks for watching, and until next time, make good choices.